return and in greater numbers. Hello again, everybody. I'm Loomis, and joining me now is Norella.
Star shines on the hour of our meeting.
It's Minecraft Monday.
I had to get off the home screen. That was starting to send me spinning a little bit.
Yeah.
The rotating camera was.
Yeah, I can see that. Myself, I've got a ringing headache from Dark Souls, and I've taken some paracetamol, which normally has an effect on me. So, but it's Minecraft, so we'll be fine as long as nothing happens that means I need to have coherence or reaction times, any kind of emergency, and what are the odds of something like that going on?
Well, exactly. It's don't happen, does it?
Yeah, it probably won't. There's not going to be any combat or life-threatening emergencies.
Exactly. It's all gonna be fine.
We're here for a chill time.
Exactly. Be fine.
Neuralon says ZZZ.
I can hear you downstairs, so I know he.
I missed the bed. I missed the bed and fell head first into the chest.
They are having an effect on you, aren't they?
Yeah, apparently so.
Like coming home drunk.
Hmm.
Which I've never done, but I am told that that's what it's like.
Yeah. You come downstairs and I'm asleep with my head in one of the chests.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
We were ow. Let's fall off. That's fine. That works too. We were pruning the high hay, weren't we?
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, obviously we've got the star on the tree. We got a glowstone, but potentially we could decorate the Christmas tree with glowing fruit this year.
Wood, come away!
Now I have access to such things.
That's what I mean. Did we even know such things existed last Christmas?
I don't think we did. I certainly didn't.
I would say because the new Nether is new to me.
Yeah.
So I don't think I knew either. That's just a big drop. I wonder if that was worth doing. Ow!
Doesn't sound like it was worth doing.
No, but here we are. Done. Neither of us are going to be much good if we need to react quickly, are we?
No.
I'm fine, so that I just turn around quickly. Surely nothing would prompt that reaction. Falling outside the walls, and I know there's a creeper out here somewhere.
Usually is.
Yeah. As long as they're outside the walls, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
So... Our job at the minute is trimming down the palisade side of the high hay.
Yeah.
Without hopefully, without compromising its ability to keep villagers in as much as ominous as that might sound.
Yeah. Ideally it needs a height of 3 on each side. I think it's the rule we've been going by.
That's it, yeah. Unnecessary, yes. Destructive, possibly. Well, here we are.
What's that?
Hide,
You're
no.
not laying down the dynamite again, are you?
No.
We talked about this.
We did. That's true. There is no dynamite in here.
Okay.
Just doing what I did mention I might do last time, which admittedly was some time ago, which is doing a bit of change, digging the kind of earth away a little bit to so that the high haste is a little bit more evenly.
Yeah.
There's slightly fewer ups and downs. Well, there'll still be loads, but just slightly fewer.
Yeah.
Makes it look a little bit tidier. How was Dark Souls 3.5?
Yeah, good. I think I made some progress. I got through the area that I was very stuck on last time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. So, yeah, I'm glad to be past that area. That area was rough.
It's no worse than being stuck.
Yeah.
Comedian Dara O'Brien says no other, because he's a big gamer, and he says no other form of media punishes you for struggling like games do. It'd be like, you know, if you're reading a novel and you could only carry on you had to unlock the rest of the novel by writing an essay on it to prove you understood its themes.
Yeah.
Or if you're like, you know, listening to music and you had to dance or sing along or something.
I was actually thinking earlier today about the books they had us read in like a English literature class.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? They were all crap because the teacher had to stop and explain the significance of every scene to us, every bit of dialogue, and like they're clearly not doing a good job of standing alone.
Were they intended for people the age at which we were when we read them?
I don't think so.
Seems legit. You know, I'm going to do that slightly higher. That's better that way.
I'm remembering a lot of Dickens.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. What kind of ages are we talking for this? Cause I can't really remember. I've got to try and cast my mind back to what I did when.
Yeah, it's kind of all a blur. I don't know, probably like 14, 15.
Ah, yeah.
Reading Great Expectations. And the teacher was constantly like, but do you see the significance of this? And generally the answer was no, and once it explained it, I still kind of thought the significance of it was rubbish.
Surely you're not saying that education in the UK is substandard in any way.
Well, not on average, I guess. Just if you like skew the data by say only studying the education in poor areas.
I hope you're not suggesting that people in private schools significantly outperform those in state schools.
Well, no, I suppose that
there's
would
a
be going.
connection between.
Yeah, that would be going quite far. I mean, it was, after all, an accident with the algorithm recently when they attempted to determine people's results based on, you know, their predicted data because of schools being closed due to COVID, and the system gave people in wealthy schools with the exact same like setup result as in poor schools. People in wealthy schools got significantly better final grades. I mean, that was just an accident with the system that couldn't have been foreseen and was in no way intentional.
Exactly, just problems with the algorithm. You know how these things are.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Exactly. I mean, of course, algorithms have to be programmed by people. Right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's nothing to do with anything. These things just happen from time to time.
Yeah.
Show you where.
Yeah, can't be helped.
Controversial, because it's too late to do anything about it. Having the high hay before high, though unnecessary, it looks better.
Ah.
It just looks
Well,
more like an imposing wall.
Well then, let's begin making those changes, I guess.
I mean, just to henceforth, I'll only trim it down to a 4. And then if we want to add an extra layer further on, we always can do.
I mean, but if it does look better that way,
Yeah. It does. And your mileage may vary, of course. You know what game I have been playing? That you may have seen because of activity status.
Yes, Fallout 3.5.
Yes, I have been playing that. I've finished that now.
Nurulon says ZZZ.
Just gonna dust down on the walls. This is my one. I haven't played that. I've finished that now. And I will expound my thoughts at a needless length in the Discord. Exclamation mark Discord if you're in Loomis's chat. I've given my thoughts on the DLC for New Vegas already. So I will give my thoughts on the whole game, which will take longer because there's obviously a lot more to go through.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. Do I think it's the greatest work ever produced by human hands? Maybe not. I did over the magical 100 hours mark that the game journalist said you needed to do to truly appreciate its wonder.
It didn't quite get there.
No, it's a mixed bag. It's basically what my thoughts are going to be overall, I think.
Yeah.
It's got some very, very good bits and some bits that are not so great. I can see how the bits that are wrong, or a lot of the things that aren't so good, are more perhaps easily fixable with mods than a lot of games.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff like the way it plays, the way it looks, things like that. That is more easily fixable with a good mod set. I can see that.
Yeah.
It looks really imposing from this side. Because the way the land falls, it really.
Yeah.
I'm just coming through the wall, as is my one.
Through the wall.
I just knocked a hole in it and climbed through. Yeah, there are all.
I don't. We shouldn't be advertising that that's possible, I feel.
It is a flaw with any and all defenses in Minecraft. Like, if you're going up against a player, there's nothing to stop them just chopping their way in. That's why you can't ever build true defenses on like a multiplayer server.
Yeah. Probably buy time with Obsidian is about the best you can do.
Yeah, like if such a thing were possible, and it's not, to use Bedrock, you'd be fine. But if you're making stuff out of Bedrock, you're already some kind of wizard of terrible power, so
Yeah.
probably even other players are no threat to you. So don't go down. So yeah, I mean the graphics, as I said before, are dated for 2018. 2010, sorry. It doesn't handle very well for me. But the controls and things are a bit ropey
Yeah.
at times, the way it feels. Guns are weirdly inaccurate because of how it determines accuracy.
Yeah,
so like
rolls the dice but pretends that you're aiming.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it factors into things like your strength special stat, because every weapon has a weight, like a strength requirement that dictates your accuracy. Your skill with that class of weapon, the condition of the weapon, and then rolls the dice as well as your actual aiming. So, like, I used a sniper rifle at one point, put the crosshair over somebody's head, and nothing, fired and missed.
Yeah.
So I fired several more times, and it was still missing. So I decided not to use sniper rifles anymore. Things like that. I'm very keen, and I know people have said before that that's why they prefer to use VATS all the time. I just don't like using VATS all the time. And it kind of requires you to VATS, Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System, which is deliberately clumsy, I think. And you have to kind of build your character around using that though, because you need to maximize your action points. So because using VATS uses action points, Yeah. Wall's so craggy, I love it at the minute. I'm about to make it need tidy, but still. So stuff like that I weren't very keen on. And obviously everyone praises the quests and dialogue. And I found that a mixed bag. Like, some of it is very good. Like, you're clever or funny or whatever in terms of dialogue. And some of it isn't quite. It's fine. Or it's serviceable, but it's not amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, on the one, not everything's going to be a hit. But if that's what you it's being sold as to the player.
Yeah.
And I was kind of thinking about, because people always say the quests give you so much choice, and I'm like, well, I've just hauled across the map backwards and forwards 8 times for one person, one quest.
Yeah.
But I suppose what it means is a lot of the quests end with a choice.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a handful, like we talked about before, give you loads of different ways of solving them. But most will end with some kind of choice. So, like, I don't know, say you're trying to work out why something's going wrong, and you find out who's done it, and you give them the option, are you going to hand yourself in? Am I going to dob you in it? Do I take a bribe to look the other way? That kind of thing. So it does kind of give you choices in. Sorry, one moment. Hello, hope everyone is having a good evening. It's been a while since I last dropped by. Hello, Bongi. I hope you're having a good day today. Thank you for dropping by. It's been a while since I streamed, so it's been a while since I've seen anyone.
Hey, Bungie. Hope you're doing good.
Falling off the wall.
No, me too.
I'm gonna step down one there again.
Yeah, imagine the combat issues of that. It's the middle generation between. It's like the Fallout that I played is a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah. It's a CRP. That Fallout is a CRPG of the classic mold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I completely imagine. I've not played it yet, but I will eventually. But I completely imagine that Fallout 3 will suffer with the same issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if it doesn't.
Same engine.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd be very surprised. So it's not necessarily a unique criticism of New Vegas or anything. There we are. But it is the thing that when you're playing it, distracts from the fun for me. If you can't shoot straight.
Yeah.
Even when you've got like 100 in energy weapons, and you're using an energy weapon in perfect condition, you meet all the requirements, and you're still missing more than you're hitting. Not ideal.
Yeah.
And it's why some wild heretics will concede that Fallout 4 handles gunplay better. Now, some people won't concede it, but someone. I wouldn't hear such slander. I'm no Bethesda bootlicker, so I would never concede that it did anything right. And by the way, I'm not exaggerating. I've heard people say that.
Yeah.
Somebody once said Obsidian's not perfect, and immediately this is a thing I saw online, and immediately was being hit with a barrage of comments about how they were a Bethesda shill and a bootlicker. You know, when I heard those jokes ages ago, people were like, "Well, you probably exaggerated." And I was like, "Obsidian, is perfect. New Vegas is perfect. There are no flaws." Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. But yeah, it's got those kind of like technical. I wish you both a good remaining week. Good night. Thank you, Bungie. You too. I hope you have a good week.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Step past that.
I think I've got all the wood out of these leaves. I'm just watching to make sure.
Thank you.
I need to fix my my diamond hoe. It's in the red.
Oh man, you can't have that.
Yeah. Whoop.
Oh, did you fall off, or did it kind of?
No, I climbed down to pick up all the stuff. There's there are 9 raiders outside.
Oh,
Yeah, it's quite a host.
that is a hope, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I have no armor still.
Hmm.
That is a real warband. Do you want
Yeah.
me to go and get 2 pints of milk?
I guess. Yeah. We should probably. This seems like a deal with it in the morning kind of situation, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we run just far enough away.
Yeah. Get back inside the walls. Sleep in the park.
And you cast me for sleeping in the station.
Look, we've all slept in the station. We've all slept in the park. We've all slept on the factory floor to save time getting to work in the morning. This is life in Chasmby. Sometimes you can't afford a bed.
They're still out there.
Yeah.
So, here's the plan. I'm gonna go and get 2 pints of milk
Okay.
and see if I can find some armor or something.
Yeah. Probably some in the cosmetics list.
And then I guess we need to see how many diamonds we've got and really buy some. So how many emeralds we've got and really buy some armor if we aren't. I've been
Yeah.
going months now. Shit's leaving me way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I was gonna say about quests is the very best ones are the ones where you get like loads of options,
Yeah.
and you can see where the focused on making that a thing.
Mm.
We're going in for no. Where's tools? I've got a bucket, but I'm gonna need another bucket unless I tip all this water out. You can see that, you know, some quests they kind of really put a lot of effort in, made sure that, you know, gives you loader options and all that kind of stuff, which is fine, which is good.
Yeah.
And then a lot they, you know, maybe didn't worry so much about it.
Mm.
Well, it's simpler now. Armor, that's the next thing I need. Unless there's any diamond armor. There is not. There is 4 carved pumpkins though, so I'll wear that. Blue. Yeah, I've got some cows inside the walls, haven't you? Ah, there they are.
Yeah.
Let's be technically non-vegan.
Casimir has always been merely vegetarian, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Yes, I can personally vouch for the welfare of the animals.
Therefore we don't have to worry about
Mm.
the problems inherent to animal
Yeah.
agriculture.
Although, I mean, Minecraft's alternate biology and physics, etc., makes things possible here that would not be possible in the real world.
True.
There's cruelty-free milk.
That's true. We just do it.
Mm.
Where are you? Are you inside? Ah, I see you.
Outside. I'm hidden.
I was just thinking as I was going through long grass, I wish there were a appropriate mechanic for that. I like all these civilians in the way.
Mm. Just be cautious.
Where are they? Have we got? Are they all here?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they're all clustered together.
Okay. If I get behind this rise, gives me a bit of cover.
Okay.
Ready when you are, I guess.
I'm gonna go get their attention, I guess.
You can keep their attention on you. I'll give cover and fire from back at you. Listen, it's moving. You can't be able to miss from here. There you go. There we go. Now I'm dabbing it into him.
I'm gonna need to get a new bow. I think the problems with this one are
Ow!
gonna come back to bite us eventually. For example, right now I'm firing blazing arrows against the backdrop of the high hay.
Oh yeah, I can see that that's going to cause issues.
Yeah. That one's got a magic bow.
Yeah, there's a fire. How many arrows did I miss with? Would you like some milk?
Please. Guess we only needed one milk, really.
Yeah, I brought 2 in case there were shenanigans.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh,
yeah,
another
never
banner
got any
for our
boots.
collection.
Alright, problem solved.
Yeah.
Nice. We didn't. This is where we walk right corner and you get the seed notification.
Yeah.
No. How? You're so careful.
The village now includes areas outside the high hay.
Ah, that'll be an issue.
Do you want me to take those steps down, or should I leave them for now? Are you gonna need them? It looks like you've done this bit, actually.
Yeah, I think I might just tweak some of this very slightly at the end here, but otherwise I am done, thank you, so yeah you can deal with it.
I think my part's done with. I don't see any more leaves.
Thank you very much for your help. You have drastically reduced the time that would have taken.
Yeah, no problem. Don't thank me, thank Diamond Hose. I guess I'll do some farming to prepare my tools.
I know I should have left that. Yeah, we took a beating.
Yeah.
Three's high enough. It looks alright. Looks better that way. In me haste, I accidentally picked up 2 leg armors and no feet. Supposed to do battle improperly attired.
Saplings. Where are the saplings? Is that a weaponsmith? Ah, saplings.
One day we'll do the thing where we reorganize everything so it actually makes sense.
Yeah, one day.
Ow.
35 apples. I'm gonna keep those, that'll do. That'll last me for a while.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so how about that many apples?
Mm. Do you like them apples? You have several kinds of ominous banner that don't stack.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah. One of them gets the full description of how to make it, which I guess is a thing that they've removed at one point. But there's 2 just plain ominous banners that don't combine.
Neuralon says
I don't know what that's
ZZZ.
about. That's what I was to say. Yeah, so we got distracted by the raiders. The best of the new Vegas quests are those where you get like 3 ways to solve it and 4 ways to come to each solution.
Yeah.
But there's only a handful of them. Like 1 for each of the casinos, basically.
Yeah.
There's a quest involved with each casino. There's only 3 casinos in New Vegas. They originally wanted there to be like 10 or something.
Yeah.
But there's 3, and 4 if you count the one that's not open to the public.
Yeah, because of Bethesda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just assume it's Bethesda. Can't go wrong. In fact, they wanted to. They were like, "Look, here's the finished game. It's got 10 casinos," and they were like, "Haha, no."
Like, whoa, 10 casinos? Are you trying to support gambling?
No, like, here's all this hours of cut content. You know, here's hours of content. Like, no, you're gonna have to cut it out.
Yeah.
We don't want you to make our game, Fallout 3 look bad.
Because the push
That is-
is pretty hard to have all of the casinos removed.
Maybe they did, but fortunately they managed to keep those
Yeah.
3 plus 2 outside Vegas itself.
Mhm.
Yeah, each of the I should say the casinos that are in Vegas. There's 2 others outside Vegas itself that are not included in that tally and don't have quests. Well, they do have quests, but not the ones to which I am referring.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, the detail involved. There's another one kind of early on that's got that level of involvement. Another early quest. It's not casino related.
Yeah.
But most of them don't quite fit that pattern. But you do get, a choice at the end usually.
Yeah.
There'll be whatever the event is, you'll get some choice about how to resolve it, which I think is great. Go to that. Very often it's kill the person, take a bribe off them, dob them in, or let them hand themselves in. That kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What I find is a problem that it can often be quite laborious in the meantime. There's one quest where you have to talk to a person and then visit 5 different locations that are scattered across the whole Mojave. Then go back to the
Yeah.
first person, then visit all 5 locations again.
Hmm.
Then go back to the person, who then sends you somewhere else, and if you ask around, you eventually talk to the right person, who then, after a conversation, you get your 4 options. So it feels like a lot of chore to get to the gives you
Yeah.
options in a quest. Like I don't mind having to work for it, but having to go 5 different places on the map, that's scattered across the whole map, and they're all difficult to read. I mean, not all of them, but many of them are difficult to get to.
Yeah. Sounds like maybe it gets a bit predictable as well. Like, oh, I've wrapped the quest, now it's time to make my decision. Who will live and who will die?
Yeah, you're quite right. I like the fact that I'm making one, but at the same time, it's coming and you know what your options are going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to decide, what thing I'm going to do here now. And the karma mechanic don't make a lot of sense. Not car mechanic, karma mechanic. It's not Fallout 2 after all. Supposedly there's a working car in Fallout 2. I've not played it yet. I only know it because there is a marked location in New Vegas that is a car of the same model as the one that's in Fallout 2. And it was deliberately put there to imply that the main character from Fallout 2 ended up in the New Vegas area. Apparently, if you look around that region, there are a number of clues that suggest it's the character from Fallout 2.
Yeah.
You don't think? Because I think that's a clever little nod. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Which led to a whole theory about this crazy old bloke actually being the main character from Fallout 2 and whether that's a good thing or not. So we're like, this is a tragic end for that character though. I don't want that to have happened to my character. And other people are like, this is brilliant. Yeah. Hey, Henry. Unless you're there for safekeeping. Yeah, you do get that a little bit where you're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And there's some occasions that it doesn't just give you that kind of who shall live, who shall die. Some of them gives you interesting ones or ones that have a bit more variety to, and that's good too. But yeah, you always know, or very often know that you're going to get given one.
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a tendency towards being laborious in a lot of the quests.
Yeah.
Like if they give you a quest, if there's stages to it, you'll have to get each one in turn.
Yeah.
You know.
They won't just give you the shopping list.
Yeah.
Let you plan your sweep.
Exactly. You've got to get the shopping list and then go back, get the first item on the shopping list, then go back to them to get the second and so on. I'm like, just give me all of them in one go. So then I can just maraud around the map in a way that's most efficient. And especially because you can't run, you can't sprint,
Yeah.
and the map's quite empty.
I mean, it's realism though. You couldn't like sprint all the way across the desert. You gotta take it at a steady jog.
That's true. It's not like you could do it in short bursts either, it's just not.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, basically I've kind of summed up my whole feeling about New Vegas as it being a mixed bag. Some stuff's very good, some stuff's okay. It's like, people talk about the dialogue as well, it's got really good dialogue. Some of it is. Like, some of it I'm like, oh, that's brilliant, yeah, it's cracking. And other than like, oh, okay. Who thought that were a good idea? Or it's just kind of drab. Like, people criticise, as you know, Fallout 4 for giving you usually 4 options.
Yeah.
But very often New Vegas gives you yes. Like, sometimes it does give you lots of options, and sometimes it gives you yes as your only option.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure. I understand that sometimes you're not always gonna be doing a massive thing about the dialogue, but it's not perfect either. Sorry if that makes me a bootlicker. Trying to suggest something could be better, or is not perfect.
It's just that they don't want to make good games anymore because those will work,
That's true.
You're getting sucked into believing that new games are good just because they cost more.
Bethesda as well, man. They hate the fans. They don't
That's
appreciate
true.
them. And yes, once again, real things that people have said.
Yeah.
Apparently they deliberately made Fallout 4 bad because they hate Fallout and the Fallout fans. True story. Like, I don't know why they do that or what the economic sense is.
Yeah.
Apparently Bethesda are also evil because they had a contract with Obsidian, which included the fact that if Obsidian got a Metacritic score of 85 or more for New Vegas, then they'd give them a bonus. But they got 84 and therefore didn't qualify for the bonus, so Bethesda didn't pay them the bonus. And people get really mad about that because, it's such a slight difference. Why wouldn't they just do it? Why did they hate... Oh crap, I've fallen off the wall. Why do they hate the Obsidian devs so much that they wouldn't give them the money? It's like, yeah, that does feel crap, but they are a business and they did have a contract.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's not the world we would like to live in, as we often espouse. That is the world, is the way business works, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's if you have a contract, and if you don't meet the terms of it, you don't get the rewards. I'd be like doing a quest in a game of an RPG of your choice, and like you need to do this certain thing, and you just don't do it, and they're like, well, close enough.
Yeah.
You get your XP and your quest reward anyway. You tried.
Yeah.
Although now I quite like the sound of that. Especially if they give it to you as you tried.
Yeah.
Is there anything more insulting than you tried? Although in an episode of Longmire they managed to make that really cool. Rather someone says it about themselves than let the record show I tried. That's suddenly in it, because it's obviously a slightly different context.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. Why is this so high up here? Oh, I put extra height to it, didn't I? To stop the villagers jumping out. See what? Ouch. Maybe I should. Hold up.
Illumus of Fail says ZZZ.
Although
Nuralon says ZZZ.
giving bonuses based on the performance of the game is frowned upon now after the CD Projekt Red stuff.
Oh, what was that?
Amongst their many flaws, their many failings. That the wages of the people who'd worked on the game for years, like, were directly tied to the game's scores. So, like, a lot of like game reviewers and stuff were saying in their reviews of it, I've given this game 10 stars despite how terrible it is, because if I don't, then a bunch of poor people who worked really hard on this for 3 years and were hecked over by management are going to get paid almost nothing.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just no good at all, is it?
Yeah.
Now, who did I see the other day that's owned by Project Red? And I was like, ooh, I didn't realise it was owned by it. I can't now remember, that's a terrible story. But... you imagine I said something shocking and revelatory. Like, what, really?
Yeah.
The ones that was owned by then? It was some other media company, you know.
Okay.
I was like, what? Oh yeah, that was too high.
Yeah. Project Red is a very sketchy company that I will be avoiding.
They make the Witcher games.
Yeah.
So why do you hate good games? Greatest RPG since New Vegas, I'll have you know. I mean, it's no Undertale. Are the Undertale people worse than the New Vegas people?
I don't
You don't
want
have the venom that the New Vegas people have.
Well,
Well, actually.
I'm a huge Undertale fan, but I'm not a huge Undertale fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as hating Project Red, they have a history of severe transphobia, like comments and actions and stuff.
No.
And the Witcher fans defend them because they're based in Poland, where being trans is illegal, so it's natural that they'll hate all trans people. It's not their fault. But that isn't a very compelling argument to me.
No. That's I don't accept that one actually.
Yeah.
I don't accept that. Well, where they come from, it's considered the norm. So when you think about it,
Yeah.
now that's I don't know. But in their country, it's okay to treat women like that. Which I've seen.
Yeah.
And no, that's not. Or in their culture, it's okay to do that. Nope, don't care. We shouldn't be colonialist in our attitude, but at the same time, there's right and wrong.
Yeah.
The way to treat people. It's not okay. This section, by the way, must be the most defensible part of the high A, because it's mounted over a peaking cliff. There's nobody storming that section.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I've not done as historical and cheaped out and made it much weaker. I sure could have done, but I'd resisted the urge.
Yeah.
Project Red made Cyberpunk 2077. I think.
Yeah. That's the one where the review stuff. You
And
guys-
it was atrocious, I hear.
Yeah. Like multiple years of crunch conditions for the workers. Which is like normally a thing that they do for a month or two at the end of a game cycle.
Because then you usually get like a month off or something, don't you? That seems to be the...
Yeah.
I've heard people describe that as the norm, that you have like a month of ridiculous work.
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
a
you
month of-
I mean, with game development, you're typically hired for the project. So once you're finished, you don't have a project to be working on. Like they'll normally arrange to hire you again for the next thing, but technically you're unemployed after finishing a project. So yeah, you get a bunch of time off, along with your big finishing bonus.
Yeah. But they were just doing it for years.
Yeah,
Just come back.
very little extra pay for it, and the finishing bonuses being based on the critical reviews of the game.
Yes. Bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to defend Bethesda doing it for Obsidian, but I think it's probably different with a company than it is with an individual, in the sense that, like, with a company you're saying, okay, you can have our you can make a project using a product using our license,
Yeah.
and here's the conditions that will go with that.
Yeah.
Because obviously Bethesda own the license to Fallout. If you want to get somebody mad, by the way, point out that New Vegas would not exist without Bethesda. They did not like that. Like, well, actually, it'd have been better if Bethesda hadn't bought the rights, but then New Vegas wouldn't exist. Well, I don't know if that, it's a price worth paying to make sure that Fallout 4 never got made. Like, really? You hate a game that much? You're like, I'd rather my favourite game in the whole world didn't exist, so that this game, which I have a choice about whether to play or not, also didn't exist.
Yeah.
I don't get it myself. Like, first of all, I don't get the Fallout 4 hate. I think it's a good game and I really enjoyed it. Said it. But second of all, why would you spend all your energy hating a game like that?
Yeah.
Like, just don't play it if you don't like it. And that's fair enough if you don't like it. Like I've said before, like, if you think New Vegas is the best thing since sliced bread and you really love it, fair play to you. Have fun. Enjoy it. You know? I'm not going to tell you not to enjoy a game. And I can't imagine why you would.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a... You can make a sequel that ruins the original.
Oh, sure.
But I don't... I mean, it's not really a direct sequel in any case, right? It's a game set in the same universe.
To New Vegas, or to
Yeah.
Fallout in general. It's nothing to do with New Vegas, really.
Yeah.
Because it's a sequel, if anything, to Fallout 3. But even so, is just like you say, another game set in that universe.
Yeah.
Like Fallout 2 is a sequel to Fallout, more directly than perhaps any of the others. But yeah, Fallout 4 is, if anything, yeah. I wouldn't even say it's a sequel to Fallout 3. It's set in the same universe, features in this roughly the same area of the US. So it does feature some of the players from that area, and there are characters in Fallout 4 who were in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's probably closest to being fell off the wall. Well, jumped off, but missed me landing. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a sequel to Fallout 3 because they don't follow the story or anything as a sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know how you define exactly sequels and follow-ups and whatever. I don't know where you split that line. Almost all the wood I got off the hay I then put back on. Not all of it, most.
If it helps, I walked away with like 6 stacks.
Ah, yeah. So we did make a profit overall.
Yeah. It's the important thing.
Exactly. That's the chief thing that anyone should be worried about ever. And now, of course, if you want an even spicier take on the sequentiality of Fallout games, you can make the argument that New Vegas is not a mainline Fallout game.
It's not got a number in the title.
Exactly. It is as much a side game as Tactics, Shelter, or Brotherhood of Steel.
Seems fair to me.
Fallout 2, 3, 4 are the mainline games, and everything else is kind of a spin-off.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's a card game. I feel if there's not a card game, there surely must be. There's always a card game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and fetch Fenrir of the Attic Morning. And I'll harvest pumpkins and such. Oh no, someone's posting in your Discord. I can only imagine it's people getting angry at me already. That's it.
Nolan, why has my follower count up to 0?
Oh no.
Hold on, I've got
ZZZ.
several emails from Twitch saying that I've been reported for multiple instances of Fallout-related hateful conduct.
Because you're responsible for your guests.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't understand why you get so mad about it. Like, I mean, we're not talking about Custer's Revenge, are we? Like, if somebody told me they really liked Custer's Revenge, then I'd absolutely tell them why they shouldn't enjoy that game.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're not talking about a game that is in some way hateful or harmful. And like you say, you can understand how a sequel can spoil a series. I've never played Seven Kingdoms 3.
Yeah.
I hear it's terrible, but I've never played it. No, but again, they're not equals as such. And lest we forget, if we cast his mind back to the mid-2000s, people got really mad at the idea that Fallout was going to be not turn-based. So, you know, nothing new under the sun and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, look how that turned out. They were right.
Oh no, you're one of those people, because although there's the New Vegas people I've talked about before, there's a small number of original Fallout people.
I'm going to be honest. The original Fallout is the best Fallout game I've played.
That's fair. There are people who do make that argument. They'll be like, nah, it's the best. It's depth or something. I know they rate Fallout 2 as the wackiest.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a lot of, like, wacky things in there. But again, I've not played that one, so
Yeah.
don't know. On New Vegas, you can, cause you take 2, or you don't have to. You can take up to 2 traits at the beginning of the game. They usually have, like, a plus and a minus effect, you know? Like, it might make you more accurate with guns, but you reload slower, or shoot slower, or something.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. This melon badge is kind of a mess. There we are. I ain't got a hoe to fix it with. And one of them you can get is Wild Wasteland, which adds in a load of really, really bonkers stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently the trade-off is you get access to all the bonkers stuff, but the game is less serious. I don't really know what that would be. I didn't do it myself. I considered it, but I thought, nah, I'm not gonna. You know, let's play it as is. You know.
Yeah.
But I just noticed things like there's a room full of dogs at some point, and if you got Wild Wasteland, they're sat around a table playing poker. A la the painting.
This sounds a little like the what are they called? The Malkovians? Which is an infamous one from the Vampire the Masquerade game.
Yeah.
So,
Goodbye. Should've done that.
which is based on the tabletop game, and like
Hmm.
there's different vampire clans descended from different first generation vampires. Like the Ventrue are descended from Dracula and have like what we may consider the most iconic powers, but each clan's got its own different theme.
Yeah,
And
I like that. By the way.
yeah, and the Malkovians, the entire clan are quite mad. It's just as soon as that's part of their blood curse or whatever you want to call it. When you become a Malkovian, you go insane.
Alright.
So in the video game, if you play as a Malkovian, your character is mad, and like the TV will address you directly, and inanimate objects will have conversations with you, and all sorts of weird stuff happens constantly throughout the game. And it's a very different experience to playing it normally.
I quite like that actually.
Yeah.
When the infamous Fallout: The Frontier came out, which is a Fallout New Vegas total mod that is very, very controversial. There's certain things in that where people were like, yeah, okay, but it's behind Wild Wasteland, right? No, this is in the base game. Oh. And of course, like, I'd be upset because it's atrocious, but I understand now why a lot of the New Vegas people were upset because it defames New Vegas by its existence.
Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to get it. The Wild Wasteland stuff sounds like you're playing as somebody who's been out in the sun too long.
That actually makes perfect sense because I mean, I've mentioned before that the premise, because I wouldn't consider a spoiler the opening of the game of New Vegas. I don't know if you would or not.
Yeah.
Which is you get shot in the head. So I mean,
and now you walk into a room full of dogs and you're convinced that they were playing poker.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also it's the defense people use for one of New Vegas' biggest problems. Although people criticize Fallout 4 for giving you a bit of backstory,
Yeah.
so does New Vegas. You are a courier for the Mojave Expressway. You are from, or at least have traveled in NCR territory. A veteran courier, person who spent a long time traveling around the wasteland, etc.
Yeah.
Yet, when you play New Vegas, your character knows nothing. Like even stuff like, who is the NCR?
Yeah.
Who is Mr. House? What do you know of Vegas? Stuff like that. Like your character knows absolutely nothing. And so, because people say, well, you got shot in the head, you must have amnesia.
Yeah.
As they rightly point out, it's very, very rare for someone to have tabula rasa, i.e. complete amnesia. You usually remember some things. So, like, being able to say in conversation to somebody, oh yeah, I went to Montana once. Yeah, you could still have amnesia and be able to remember the time you went to Montana.
Yeah.
Or the kid you've got in New Reno or whatever, some of the dialogue suggests. But that's still giving you a backstory, by the way. You don't have to choose that dialogue option, but
Yeah.
it'll still give you a backstory, doesn't it? Been to Montana or whatever. But the problem is, the game never establishes that you've got amnesia.
Yeah. You think that's
But that
something
never
that would
comes
come
up.
up?
Yeah, and I know death of the author and all that. But the devs have said that your character does not have amnesia. And they never intended it to be so.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I know we don't have to take everything of this for granted, whatever, but at the same time, it at least tells us their intentions. It weren't like they were going to, but ran out of time to put it in.
Yeah.
They always intended that you did not have amnesia. Whereas if you had, I would have no problem with that. You got shot in the head.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense if you didn't remember everything. Because the other problem you get with that is, although you don't know who shot you, you do remember them, because that's the intro to the game.
Yeah.
With the, sorry kid, the game was rigged from the start. Whereas if you'd got amnesia from being shot in the head, you wouldn't remember that moment. In most, highest probability, that would be the moment you forgot. As happens with traumatic brain injury, you tend to forget the thing that caused the brain injury.
Yeah. Potentially, if it was your long-term memory that was damaged, you might remember, like, immediate stuff and not the older stuff. Because you do get that people who can remember things fine up until a certain date.
That's true. That's true. It is possible, but yeah, there's no, like, if they just had one line right at the beginning when the doctor's examining you, then I would have zero problem with it. But they don't.
Yeah.
That's what they should have done. But just have your character when the doctor's asking you how you are, just be like, I can't remember anything.
Well, just establish that you've got, a severe concussion, and you may say stupid things or be confused for a little while and need reminding of basic stuff.
Yeah. Because like the doctor at the beginning says you might not be quite right.
Yeah.
Because you've been shot in the head. But yeah, just something to imply that you may suffer after effects from being shot in the head.
Yeah.
But they don't. I just think that's a bit disappointing, really. Because they never intended for your character to do that.
Yeah.
That wasn't, the canon thing that happened. You're fine, I guess. Who's that villager and why are they marauding all the way over here? This cartographer just wandering amongst the wheat fields.
Yeah. I get the problem of you need to explain to the player sometimes. Sometimes you need to explain to the player things that the character should already know, which can be difficult.
Neuralon says ZZZ.
How do you get that information over to the player who's playing an experienced Mojave courier?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of always liked the solution that Final Fantasy VII does for that kind of thing. In that you're playing a veteran soldier who does not need the basics explaining to him. That when you go to the tutorial house and the people there offer to teach you the basics, Cloud says to them, how about you let me teach you the basics? And then you choose what you want Cloud to tell them about. The entire tutorial is Cloud explaining things to other people.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Because a lot of them, I don't know, as I say, I've not played Fallout 2, so I'm not sure the exact setup for it. But obviously in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, you've come from a vault. You don't know what's going on in the outside world.
Yeah.
You don't and couldn't know. So that's obviously easy for you to be like, well, what's going on here? Why is there a giant radioactive scorpion?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'd go nuclear war, but still.
Yeah.
Like, who are these people? Why is that man green? And I think the premise of Fallout 4 actually sets it up perfectly. That you are, again, the opening of the game, you are from 2077.
Yeah.
You are from before the war. So of course you know nothing about the post-apocalyptic world. And I think that's perhaps what people kind of miss a bit when they criticize it for giving you that bit of backstory.
Yeah.
You have, because it does give you a little bit more. You are heterosexually married, and have a kid.
Yeah.
And depending on whether because in this, it's not just that you select whether you're playing as a man or a woman. The man and woman are actually two separate characters. And the one you don't play as is in the opening, it got a name and everything.
Yeah.
If you're interested, it's Nate and Nora. But obviously the name changes depending on which one you choose. But you still choose what they both look like and everything. But you've got a kid, and Nate is an ex-soldier. Nora at least has a law degree. So it does give you that bit of backstory. Because the game's kind of more about how you deal with the world you find yourself in than it is about who you were when the game started. You know, sure, you're in this, it presents your character in quite a fixed way. But, oh, it's you doing the sugarcane, I heard this racket, and I'm like, what is that? But it's as much about, how do you cope with being plunged into a post-apocalyptic world?
Yeah. How do you
Having
reinvent
only ever
yourself?
known the comfortable life beforehand, sorry.
It's like how you reinvent and rebuild yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
The
And I
game
think
tells,
people kind of miss that a little bit. So.
the game tells you who you were, but you choose who you become.
Exactly, and if you've played it through, like the game's inverted commas ending, the little cutscene you get when you finish the main quest,
Yeah.
kind of spells that out as well.
Hmm.
About the fact that, because it's all voiced by your character giving their thoughts on the matter.
Yeah.
And it's kind of about that, the world as it was compared to the world as it is, and who you are and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that works really well.
Yeah.
And I'd already kind of got this is who you are in the intro, but that doesn't mean who you are once you're in post-apocalypse and everything's going wrong and somebody's trying to eat you or whatever. And there's death claws now and all like that. Well, that's going to change a person.
Yeah.
That's what I always kind of got the game was about. So. I think people kind of missed that though. And they're like, well, I don't want to play the person who they were in 2077. I want to have them as a pirate. I know. I want to imagine they were a war criminal. Well, you still can.
Yeah.
Who's to say that the reason Nate left the army wasn't because he was a war criminal?
Let's say that they aren't driven to become one by the events in the wasteland that they now find themselves in.
Exactly. Because you don't have the same, like tattoo and hair options or stuff that you find later in the game. Because you're from the nice bit of the past.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have, necessarily look like you're from Mad Max.
Yeah.
But you might later, after you've been experiencing it for a while.
Yeah.
And it's having an impact on you. There's just a whole gang of farmers just hanging around this one area. Oh, you've put a load of composters in.
Yeah.
Nice. And to make sure somebody got a job. Reset. Find someone who will.
Yeah, we actually had a bit of a situation where, like, one of the farmers didn't have a job and didn't have a working post. And when I put down a new one, an unemployed villager took it instead of the farmer who didn't have anywhere to work. So I put down like 3 until he managed to grab one.
Well, we need farmers to buy the goods we produce, so
Yeah.
that works. We've got a new farmer here. Got loads of new farmers around.
Yeah.
Is there none that buy? Is there only one that buys wheat?
I believe there is, yes. I'm not sure where he works.
It was one of those in that corner.
At the allotments.
Yeah. Is that what you call the area where there's a whole bunch of composters in close proximity?
Oh, the allotments are the ones near the flats.
Yeah, it's the other one. The one where there's like a field and then there's a number of composters around it.
Yeah.
Perhaps you call it the field.
I guess I do. I don't think it has a name, but if it did, it would be the field.
Found some sugarcane you dropped, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I'll put it in storage or give it to you, whichever you prefer. I've just noticed there's a villager marauding around the tower, though, so I'm going to make sure they're not up to anything.
Yeah, pop it in storage. Already.
The master weaponsmith. Did we ever establish what Guy Warwick's valor is?
I feel like we have done several times, but I can't remember now.
Me neither.
Is this at the tower? I'll go and have a look.
Yeah, thank you. He was stood at the back of it, between that and the high hay when I saw him. Mr. Bork.
Was. Skyworks Valor Flame Strike.
I feel like
I want to say.
I thought that was what it was.
Cause didn't. I'm trying to remember. I think Guy Warwick fought a dragon.
Ah, that makes sense. And not to be confused with the Wolfman from.
Yeah. Oh, it's Smite.
Oh!
Yeah.
I'm gonna put those. What do we call them, Zoe? Emeralds. I should have bought that sword because I don't have one.
Yeah, I don't have a sword yet either.
To be fair, that can wait. What I need is armor as much as anything.
Yeah. Armor's the important one to get first.
Yeah. I don't have any. Why does some of the fields seem to attract iron golems but not the others?
I wish I knew.
Like the plain sheep field's got like half a dozen.
Hmm.
A lot of sheep here, man. And
Yeah.
a lot of sheep. The cow field has a problem.
Yeah.
But pigs has got none. The multicolored sheep have got none. What's the hap there?
I don't understand the mechanics behind iron golems.
Me neither.
I mean, because I took them all out at one point, and they immediately teleported back in there. Well, not immediately, but the next session they loaded back inside the fence. And like the landlord at Chasmby Flats had no way of getting down, but one day he was on the ground instead of up there.
Ah.
But on the other hand, Tyson inside my old house has just been contentedly in the same spot for a very long time.
Neuralon says ZZZ.
Yeah, no clue.
Yeah.
No. Hey gods.
Yeah. How horrifying.
So I should do a buying some armor, really. That could be a thing. But I've got an idea for a project, so let's go and see if I can find somewhere suitable for that. Actually, I've got several projects in mind, but
Do some more purchasing myself, but I would prefer you to have some armor, so please do that first.
oh, you want me to do it now? Do you know where the armor smith is?
I don't.
I'm looking for one.
Hey, Amberlamp. And hey, Fenris.
Got 2 stacks of emeralds. And I'm in the market for armor. Go looking. So after I finished New Vegas, I didn't want to start any kind of other big involved game straight away.
Yeah.
The next one I think will be Fallout. Because I know a lot of people complain about it, that it's difficulty and whatever.
Like Fallout the first one.
Yeah,
Okay.
like dying to a rat at the beginning of the game.
I don't think it was that bad for that, considering I had an awful build and still managed to get through okay.
Oh, that's not bad then. I would say if it were a bit of a problem, I might,
It is sort of the game where, like, I guess a bit like the difficulty I put across in my RPG games. That's maybe it's not so much that the game's tough; it's that that encountering things you can't deal with and having to run away from them is an intended mechanic.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Gunpowder, Cannoneer's Bulwark, and Gunpowder Palladium. What are they?
I assume one of them is blast proof.
Yeah. That's armor. Goodbye, Fenrir. Thank you, sir. Or madam. Selling me this armor. Right, I'll scout out that place. I was going to do some work. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping I find it fine. Like I say, sometimes you might encounter something you're not equipped to do with it, so that's fine. If we're too awkward, I'm not going to do a bad job, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Brace yourself to find the controls very clumsy at first. I think you'll eventually get used to them.
Okay.
But it
Because
takes a bit.
old.
Yeah. The game definitely takes some figuring out.
That's fair.
Thank you for the lurk, Lady Meow. I hope you're having a good evening. Always good to hear from you.
Got a novice weaponsmith too. Oh! Oh!
Oh.
There's an ender pearl in the middle of town.
Oh. In the middle.
An enderman died here.
I did hear an Enderman teleporting around earlier. I never saw them though.
Oh.
Must have aggravated an iron golem.
Yeah, and got splattered for the trouble.
Yeah. Well, nobody's above the law.
True. Man, if we had shovels, that technology would not be behind us.
Yeah. That's when I was talking about how I've got purchasing to do myself, but I'd rather you get the armor first. I was mostly talking about feeding emeralds to toolsmiths until we can get shovels.
Oh, this is a party. How did they all get down here? There's just dozens of iron golems in this like small section of cave.
Yeah.
How? Never mind, it's fine. There's still several at bottom of the well. But it's not as bad as it was. They're not going to reach criticality.
The ones at the bottom of the well have a way to leave. I don't know what more we can do for them.
No. Lasso them and drag them out.
I guess. I mean, I think didn't we do that? And these are like fresh ones.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I think I opened up that passageway and they all just like poured out.
Yeah.
And then certainly some with lassoed as well.
Yeah. Having an iron golem and a lead is both simultaneously the most empowering and the most dangerous feeling sensation I've ever had. Like
Yeah.
leading around such a powerful creature on a lead, like wow, I've got super strong stuff going on, but like I couldn't stop it from splatting me against a wall if it decided that it no longer liked this game.
True. Yeah, I found another farmer who buys wheat,
Oh, nice.
but they're just like marauding around the very edge of Chasmby, and I don't know why.
Hmm.
Like out near the Chasmby Flats, but towards the jungle tree.
Yeah.
Just kind of stood here watching me. Maybe we need another compost.
Uh,
I'll get the.
you know, I think that might be the one that I couldn't get to take up the job because others kept taking it.
Looks like a
I
while
guess
ago
it's
somebody
still
sold
not-
them beetroot.
Yeah, I did sell some beetroot earlier. I don't
Oh,
know.
maybe it's the same person. Maybe it is that one from the other side.
Hmm.
Look at all these books. That is a lot of books there. Robin Hood's Perforce. I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, I think at one point I had like a ton of XP, so I just made it. Just went to the enchanting table and made as whatever books came up.
Oh,
So help yourself to those.
thank you. Oh, there's the Eye of Ender. Bewitched Ender Pearl. In my language.
Books. Magic books, no less.
True. Yes, and two. Archer's keenness. I mean, what do you think's better on a bow? Piercing 2 or Archer's keenness?
Hmm.
What's Robin Hood's Perforce? If that was not an archery enchantment, it should be.
Yeah, I can only assume so.
Where are you?
I'm out at the labs. I can come over.
No, I'll meet you.
Oh, have you you got? Oh yeah, the books. They're not ones you're buying, right?
Yeah. Just browsing in the.
I just want to make sure that I think that tree might have pierced the ceiling.
That happens.
All books. Yep. Wow, I thought I'd made the dark house tall enough that that wouldn't happen, but that is a very tall tree.
Oh, well, that's unsettling.
Hmm.
Alright, so we'll start with Archer's keenness.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
That is power 1.
Thank you. And here's Robin Hood's Perforce.
Punch 1.
Oh,
Which I assume
you.
is knockback?
ah, that makes sense. Go to bed. Gotta see this.
Oh, I've already cleared out the inside, I'm afraid.
Ah, never mind.
But yeah, I went right up the roof and I was like, and didn't have any leaves, and I was thinking, I feel like something's gone astray here.
Indeed it had.
You could climb up on the roof and have a look.
I'll do so in the morning. But I thought until I start my next big game, I'll have a break.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing Darkest Dungeon.
Ah.
It's been a while. I've been 3 years and a bit.
Hey, it's a coincidence because I'm also replaying Darkest Dungeon. I
Oh,
I never played it with the DLC, so I got the DLC with my birthday money and started a new game.
Oh, nice. What DLC did you get? Because I've not. I mean, I've only got the Musketeer.
I bought the multi-pack, so there's the color. I think the Color of Madness and the Crimson Court are the two that add like the main content.
Nice. There's a tree here
Yeah.
on the roof.
Also, I've always accepted without question that when I climb up on a roof, Ambulance just jumps up after me. But it's a little more unsettling to see a dog do it.
Yeah, that feels more wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like what I felt is that playing Darkest Dungeons after playing Frostpunk was maybe a mistake because of the way my brain has grown accustomed to scaling.
Ah.
Like the game talks about what will you do to save your favorite hero, etc., etc., and we're supposed to like care about these people, but like I've just played a like. I have sacrificed hundreds to save thousands. And this time the entire world is at stake. I will throw these people away for the slightest advantage.
I find you like I found when I did that when I first played it through, which is a while ago now, because I last played it in early May 2018, I think it was. I do find after a while they start to almost become numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather than being individual people. But so far I've avoided. I'm about, I don't know, 40 weeks in, I guess. And I've so far avoided it.
Yeah. You know, I'm like 10 weeks in.
Ah. Although I did have a real misfortune. A second mission. So basically the first proper one that you do.
Yeah.
And getting me, my basic heroes out.
Mhm.
And ran into the collector,
Yeah.
which was less than ideal at a low level. And our Crusader showed his collection. Or does collect call, I should say.
Yeah.
And summoned, I think it was basically a collected Vestal and 2 collected Highwaymen. And no, it wasn't a collected Vestal, it was a collected Man-at-Arms.
Ah, okay.
2 collected Highwaymen. And all 3 of them hit my Crusader. Like the Man-at-Arms did like 10 damage, you know, the Highwaymen did 15, so I was already thinking this is a bad time. And then the other one crit and did over 20 damage.
Yeah.
He died.
Yeah,
That was very sad.
the collected Highwaymen do so much damage.
Oh, it's horrendous. And then I realised the whole reason I'd done that quest is because it came with an item for a Crusader. I was like, no. I do like that you get a puzzling Hedron or whatever it is for fighting the collector.
Yeah, it's unique treasures. My only fatality so far was encountering a Shambler shrine with a battered squad and being like, well, this... Yeah, probably some of them are going to die, but it gives me an ancestral item which will be really powerful, so...
I've seen a couple and fought the urge.
Yeah.
I was like, I do want to, because I've only fought the Shambler once, which is in my previous game, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that was a thing that would happen. I just did the thing.
Yeah.
And behold, the infinite malignity of the stars. And things went very badly. And I lost a couple of people.
Yeah.
I think one to the Shambler itself and one to its minions.
Yeah. Like the minions do almost all of the damage actually. The Shambler doesn't do a lot of direct damage, although it does cause stress.
Yeah.
The problem is the minions are summoned very quickly, so if you're taking out the minions, you're not damaging the Shambler.
That's it. And I'd not really got anybody who could hit the back rank when I fight at that time, so
Yeah.
you quickly end up in a mess. If you're not geared up right to take him on. Take it on.
Yeah.
Them on. I don't know about the pronoun usage when it comes to the Shambler. But I did do the... Oh, how bad could it be? You know... If you crave ruin, or whatever it is. Crave the touch of oblivion, give the gift of fire. Like, sure, but let's give it a go. Oh. Just about damn. Yeah, so far I've only lost one person to the collector. So I mean, there's been times when I've been close to losing quite a few people, but avoided it. You know, where you get you're in a scenario where you get somebody ends up on death's door, and then they attack him again, and the bell tolls again, but they survive.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like death's door, and then it's like, I don't know, some equivalent of like blanket fire, and it hits everybody.
Yeah.
Death's door, yeah, or they bleeding or something. Just no.
Yeah.
But so far
Yeah.
fine. I've also had a mission where all four were, what do we call it? Afflicted or virtuous. They'd all been tested.
Yeah.
Where is Fenrir? Oh no, I found Fenrir, that's fine. Yeah, that was all that went wrong. Everyone's stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm currently working my way through the second tier of bosses. The veteran? Is that what they call the second tier?
Yeah.
I'm only doing the veteran tier of bosses. I've done all the apprentice ones and I've got 4 to go. So I'm halfway there
Yeah.
with the next tier. I've got the 2 Cove and 2 Warrens ones to do. Just need to level them up enough to access them.
Yeah.
Goodbye. This time round, I nearly died to the cannon.
Yeah, I remember. No, actually not the cannon. Actually, I don't remember the cannon being that bad. I guess it's if you know the gimmick.
Yeah, I knew the gimmick, but it was a matter of putting that into practice.
Yeah.
You know, when you take the matchman down to 1 HP, and then your next attack misses.
Yeah.
24 damage a person.
You know, I'm not sure I ever saw the cannon fire.
No, he didn't fire the second tier of cannon. Didn't fire. The 10-pounder is it? Something wherever it is. The next one.
Yeah.
8-pounder. Something like that. I forget. I don't know if that's the difference. It's just different weights of shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next one did not fire. The first one fired once. I find probably the Warrens one of the hardest of the 4 places.
Yeah.
I find their bosses the easiest. I would say that for me, the 2 Warrens bosses are
See, that's
the easiest to deal with.
the Swine Prince and the Flash.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause the Swine Prince is entirely straightforward.
Yeah.
It's a huge monster that hits you hard.
Yeah.
And the flesh, it's got a lot of weirdness going on, but it's still just one big thing that you wail on.
Neuralon says ZZ.
And, you can do the thing where if you've got somebody who hits more than once, hits more than one target, it does extra damage. So.
Yeah. You've got the Houndmaster, and you can hit all 4 parts of it and make all of them bleed.
Yeah. I think I Jester, I think I took against it.
Yeah.
Next one, I'm thinking Jester and Grave Robber. Flashing daggers paired with the slice off or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That feels like it causes a lot of trouble. Musketeer's good. I know it's just a reskin Arbalist.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. I like Musketeer. I think, the moves seem, really good, well designed and everything. Even though they're just a different version of the Arbalist ones, still I like them.
One of the
Quite nice to have a...
See, there's 2 new DLC classes, the Shield Breaker and the Flagellant. The Shield Breaker I'm not too enamored of.
Yeah.
But I really like how the Flagellant plays.
Oh yeah.
So for one thing, the Flagellant can do heal. Obviously, the Flagellant does lots and lots of bleed to the enemy, and also to itself.
Sure. Flagellant.
But the Flagellant can also transfer health to other teammates.
Oh.
Or, what it does is it gives them a healing over time effect at the same time as giving itself bleed.
Ah.
So it's actually a really, really powerful healer, except that it can't use this healing move on itself.
Oh, that's good.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it does have some attacks that heal itself after damaging the enemy, but it can only use them when badly injured.
Ah, yeah.
So the Flagellant's one of the most powerful characters, except they have to be practically on death's door to gain full access to their arsenal.
Cool.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun to use.
What's your favourite class? Other than the working?
I've got a real soft spot for the Antiquarian.
Yeah. They make you so much money.
Yeah. And they do a bit of everything.
Yeah. They're not very well.
Yeah. Meow's favorite class is history. Makes sense.
Understandable, I approve.
Yeah. I need one more food.
Yeah, I really like the Hellion.
Yeah.
Like if I need a damage dealer, I'm going for the Hellion. Fast, high-powered,
Gee.
surprisingly tanky.
Yeah. I don't know if the Hellion agrees with me super well, though. Okay. They like to move around for one thing, and I can't
I
stand.
never really see the movement moves.
Yeah, I can't stand any character that wants to move. Stay where you're put.
Yeah. Like I'll take a Hellion with breakthrough, just in case they get knocked back,
Yeah.
so they can dive forward again. But otherwise, I don't really use breakthrough because I just kind of go Wicked Hack if they're at the front, Iron Swan if they're at the back. Somebody else can deal with any other position if needs be.
Yeah. That is fair. That's generally how I handle them. I think a lot of their moves also debuff them, which I find frustrating.
Yeah. That's why I focus on Wicked Hack and Iron Swan because they don't. If it bleeds,
Yeah.
doesn't either.
Yeah.
Which is only another one I like. But yeah, I don't bother with like breakthrough unless I have to, or bleed out. Because they both debuff them. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Barbaric Yorp as well. I don't think I've ever used that.
Yeah.
If I want somebody to stun the enemy, I'll have a Vestal do it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or any other class. The Hellion's there to wreck them all.
Although it is the biggest multi-target stun. It might be the only multi-target stun.
Yeah, it might be
Sure.
actually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's... I feel like a lot of the classes have like two builds to them.
Yeah.
And I guess the Barbaric Yorp is for a different kind of Hellion, one who's not on the front lines.
Yeah. That's fair. It's like how you can do it man at arms as you kind of a tough frontliner. Can do a ton of damage, but you know, they're tank hits and whatever. Or you slap them up the back and just use them to buff the heck out of everybody else.
Yeah. I'm getting I never got to try it in the YouTube playthrough because Asmoth really didn't like the idea, but I've been getting a lot of good use out of a back rank man at arms.
Yeah.
Commanding
There's even
the troops.
an item you get, and
Yeah.
like buffs all their buffs.
Yeah, the item's very existence made Asmoth angry, I seem to recall.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Which I suppose shouldn't be a great surprise.
Yeah, perhaps not.
Is the ancestor the best thing about the game, though?
Yeah, definitely, by far.
I grew tired of conventional extravagance. You could tell whoever did it was really trying to get him to sound a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's just slightly unrealistic, and I love it. But you can tell he doesn't naturally talk like that. It's the double O sounds that really give him away.
Yeah.
Perched stoically above the moor. And my open flaunting of social taboos. It's like I love it because it's that bit wrong,
Yeah.
or a bit of an odd way of expressing it. Loomis will be very happy about building something there.
Oh.
Running his property values.
Mm.
Work, you see, that's the thing.
Yeah, I've been thinking on the Flagellant since it's a new class, and I've been using it a lot. That, like, you can have a frontline Flagellant who's inflicting massive bleed to the enemy, or you could have a backline Flagellant healing others, and then then once they've, damaged themselves to a sufficient level by healing others, using their critical moves to get that big boosts themselves.
Yeah.
So you could potentially have a healer flagellant.
That's interesting.
Mm. And actually, one thing that's been on my something that's been on my mind for a while is that one day I'd like to do like, ideally on stream, I think, because I think it would be a fun thing to stream. I want to do challenge runs where I play through Darkest Dungeon using only one class at a time. Like a Crusader only run, for example. And think about how the different classes would interact. Because then you'd have to use all the different formats for each class. You'd really learn the ins and outs of the class you were using.
I think you'd struggle with some, wouldn't you?
Definitely some would be easier than others.
Antiquarian only run.
I think the Antiquarian might not be the worst, because the Antiquarian can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, you can inflict a couple of points of blight, you can heal a couple of points.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're gonna get murdered a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, they're all gonna be harder. That's what makes it a challenge run. But I consider that if you're playing as, say, the Highwayman, 4 Highwaymen means no healing.
True.
I think that might be worse than the Antiquarians being a bit bad at everything.
True. You'd be dealing hella damage though, wouldn't you? So...
Yeah, you just have to kill the enemy before they could kill you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've thought quite a bit on which classes would be good and which would be bad, and I can't help but feel that the Flagellant is easily going to be the easiest.
Ah, yeah.
Because, I mean, just with 2 Flagellants on the team, they can't heal themselves, but they can heal each other for significantly more than they're losing on those healing casts.
Illumus of Fail says ZZZ. Neuralon says ZZZ.
Like 2 Flagellants in the back, constantly deploying healing over time over the 2 at the front and on each other. And then 2 at the front just laying down the attacks. Obviously you'll struggle on enemies that don't really bleed, but you still do decent damage.
You're struggling in ruins, I suppose.
Yeah.
A little bit in the cove too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not immune, but they've got resistance on the cove.
Yeah. But in general, I feel like it's gotta be the easiest class.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I've never tried a frontline Vestal, but they do have like their mace strike moves and such, so I think maybe they'll be one of the better ones, perhaps.
I was thinking that, because you take like, you got Hand of Light and Mace Thump, or whatever it's called, they're both kind of frontline moves.
Yeah.
Then you've got, I mean, is it Illumination? No, Judgment, that can be done from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, is
And
that the
hits
one that...
just about anywhere.
That's the one that drains health?
In damages them, heals you.
Yeah. So yeah, you've definitely got a lot of options with a cleric only run.
Yeah. Plague Doctor might not be terrible.
Yeah. Like, they're not big heals, but at least they clear all the status effects.
That's true. Because, I mean, at a high level, you'd be getting about 3 or 4, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Compared to whatever damage you're being dealt. Occultist should be alright.
Yeah.
Because you get your Incision, or whatever it's called. Not called Incision. Ceremonial Stab, or whatever it is, close range.
Yeah.
You got some more damage ones from your Abyssal Artillery.
Mhm.
Weak number curses, and you've got your weird reconstruction that may or may not heal you.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than trying to use that on somebody on death's door, getting 0 and inflicting bleed?
Not that I can think of.
And then like they cast it on somebody else's like 5 hit points down and do like 20.
Yeah.
Could you not have done that the other way around? I will say, the game is so characterful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm playing it and thinking just how well made it is as a game. Everything's got a feel to it that works.
Yeah.
Like even down to the fact that the occultist may or may not heal you. 0 to 20 or whatever nonsense you get for healing from an occultist.
Yeah.
And the sound design is so good as well.
Here we go. Knew it was only a matter of time.
I do always talk about sound design, don't I? But really good. I love sound design in games. It matters to me.
Yeah.
Do I? Just really well done. The moves and everything's got a kind of sound to it, the sound effects, the background noises and music and everything.
Yeah.
I play a bit with headphones on and there's like little noises in background all the time. Things making noise, like animals and whatever.
Yeah.
Groaning and ominous noises.
I get louder the more the torches go out.
Yeah, that's a brilliant touch. So that if the torch is extinguished, it's
Yeah.
just hella loud. Just so much noise and things happening. It's genuinely kind of unsettling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like something terrible is about to happen. But you should.
Yeah.
No, darkness holds dominion. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you feel like, oh no, oh man, oh no. And I like the different music you get in the different areas. That it's similar but not the same.
Yeah.
I like that as a detail. That it's like it's the same kind of music, but it's got its own twist. I think that's really good. It gives each area a different feel, as well as the visuals of it having a very different feel.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, there's one enemy in the game that I hate.
Yeah.
I can't stand. Like I think they're really cool, but I can't stand facing them. My heart always sinks a bit whenever I do. Not the collector, not even the shambler. The Uka crushers and other variations on that.
Yeah.
The big crabs. Oh, they're horrendous.
Yeah.
They're just the worst enemy to face in the game. And if you're running into like 3 of them sequentially, it just...
Yeah. The ridiculous damage and bleed.
Yeah, 8 points a round on the base level one of them.
Yeah.
8 points a round! And there's nothing to stop them hitting the same character more than once with arterial pinch.
Mm-hmm.
They can be doing easily, 16, 24 damage a round.
Yeah.
Like, characters have 24 health. Huge hit point. They've like got 50 hit points by default, or it is.
Yeah.
Is it 40 or 50% protect?
Yeah.
High stun resist, like really high stun resist, high bleed resist. Just a nightmare. What a nightmare to face. Even though I do like them because they're giant crabs. But you were going to say something before I mentioned that.
If I was, I don't recall it now.
Was it, are you going to take a break today, or was it, actually the Red Hoku make Darkest Dungeon have done even worse than CD Projekt Red? Or was it, and really you shouldn't be promoting their game on stream? Or was it that actually you've seen the trailer for New Vegas and are now a New Vegasite?
I mean, it was a really good trailer.
I need to rewatch that because I watched it a couple of years ago and now I can't remember what it is. And I think it is referred to in, like, you can construe the events of the trailer in game, I think. And they do refer to them. There is something where you go, oh, is that what was out in the trailer? Or so some have said, I can't remember. I need to rewatch it and see. Well, that 4 trailer's good. Oh no, I've said it.
I really wish you'd watch what you say about for no good things, please. Negativity only.
One other thing as well. Fallout 76 trailer was really good. Some say it's the best thing about it. Although apparently, like, Elder Scrolls Online, it's got a lot better since it came out.
Yeah.
So, like, it had a bit of a ropey launch, but has since been improved a lot. But you know what else? So did New Vegas. Apparently it was now unplayable at launch.
Yeah.
Such that, although you won't hear many of people say it nowadays, people have compared the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 to New Vegas at launch. That's the level we're talking. Oh crap, I've fallen out of a tree. But I didn't die.
I'm glad to hear that.
I saw a villager wandering where I didn't think they should, so I was trying to hasten down the tree to make sure they were okay. They're fine. And I fell out the tree. Less than ideal. Oh well, I'm gonna have a quick 5-minute break, I think, and then I'll be back for the.
I was about to
last-
say, are you taking a break today? Or...
Yes! I'm going to do so now.
Okay, I will do the same.
Alright. See you all shortly.
Back soon, everybody. Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I took
How's
a
it
bit...
going?
Good. Good. Sorry, I took a little bit longer than I planned to.
That's fine. I just went live while I was waiting. I thought, nay matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's absolutely fine.
What the recipe? Oh, what's the thing? What's the recipe?
Recipe? What are you making?
I made some before. I made some cement ones, didn't I?
Ah, yeah.
Ah! Ah, you need to include a dye. That makes sense. Maybe you need to include a dye. I wonder if you need to. If you can do it without. Like, is there a
Yeah.
default? No, that's interesting.
Do you just leave
That's
a
certainly not-
blank space where the die would go, or...?
You have to put one in, it looks like.
Okay.
Which is fine. I just wanted to check that out for later.
Okay. Planning to do some work in cement, huh? Is this
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
gotta, it's just something I'm considering. I was thinking of having just like
Yeah.
a big, grey concrete cube.
Yeah, I was about to say a bit more of your classic brutalism.
Exactly.
I know how you love it.
Concrete cubes everywhere. Putting up some lampposts.
Yep.
Nice.
Run some alongside the road.
Cool.
They're pretty much cosmetic because obviously we've already got the lighting system, but I don't know. Felt like doing it.
Yeah, fair enough then. That's all you need to know. All you need is a reason.
Yeah. This is a villager original. I've just been copying the design of.
That's fair.
Do you think it would be blasphemous to rebuild this road?
Which one? This one.
Yeah, I mean we're not filling in the chasm. We could do like if we did like a little bridge.
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, might do that then.
Yeah. What about here? Would you put in a proper connection to the Cathedral candles rather than just a block of cobblestone
Do
that we occasionally fall off?
you think the castle would tolerate that?
I even see villagers using it.
Hmm.
We're talking about Darkest Dungeon before we went on a break, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I was saying, yeah, I just think it's a really well made game. I think it's really well put together. And even though it's in a way hard, you know, it certainly advertises it as a making the best of a bad job situation.
Yeah.
You know, you'll lose heroes, quests will fail, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever feels unfair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you ever go, oh, how was I supposed to deal with that?
Yeah.
You're always kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, that was unfortunate. But fine. Like, even when I came across the collector really early on,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I'll deal with it.
Nobody ever promised you fairness. And in fact, you were warned repeatedly not to expect it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know it's not a roguelike, so you've got that feel of decisions have weight.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're going to have some bad luck, as it were. Some ill chance. And things are going to go wrong for you, and you're going to lose people, whatever. But
Yeah.
you're going to come across some particularly tough foe, say.
Fenris, why is your fur black now? What have you gotten into, boy?
Dogs, they do get mucky.
Yeah. I think technically on the hardest difficulty it's a roguelike.
Alright. Wait, do you have to do it yourself?
You only so many heroes will show up, and there's also a time limit before the crawling chaos escapes.
Oh.
So it's got the lost condition that you'd expect from a roguelike.
Got you. Because otherwise there ain't one, is there? Like, you'll always have enough heroes to do a mission.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you could get soft locked out of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Take him for a bath.
Yeah.
But when he shakes himself off, he'll be different. There you
we
go, look.
Nice. It's a lovely touch.
Is that a bug or a feature?
That's got to be a feature, right?
Surely, because it happened to Fenrir before, didn't it?
Yeah. Hey.
No.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
I think the only the only perhaps problem with Darkest Dungeon is
Neuralon says
sometimes
ZZZ.
the subtitles don't match what the narrator says, the ancestor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's one where he talks about, it's one of his, you know, like random things when you finish a quest or start a game or whatever, where he
Yeah.
just speaks for a bit, and he says something about all this horror does not compare to the one, and in the subtitles it says something like, at which I dare not look. But he says, that final crawling thing, I dare not look. I could not look away. Well, that's quite different.
Yeah.
But I mean, better. I could not look away.
Yeah.
Also, I like how his voice in the intro is just rendered as a voice, but his voice as it appears in game has an echoey, slightly distorted quality.
Yeah.
And that's a great touch for, you know, what happens to the ancestor.
Yeah.
This run's been going a bit too well, though. It ended up with over 100 grand and all of that. And I was gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
If I get party wiped by a doomsayer.
Yeah. And that's new, I think. Noticing things that I don't think have changed from the DLC, but are different to what I remember. I guess because they do keep updating the game. Back when me and Asmoth did it, almost nothing inflicted horror. Certainly not in the early levels of the game.
Like the ghoul did, didn't it, with its shriek or howl, whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah, but that thing only showed up in, like, the champion dungeons. Like, it was only champion enemies that inflicted horror, but I'm now seeing it in, like, the starting out ones. Starting out dungeons. I can't remember, what's the lowest rank?
Apprentice.
Apprentice, yeah. I'm seeing it in the apprentice dungeons. Seems the chaos has grown.
Yeah. the madman, as it calls it.
Yeah.
Was it? Because he does the accusation where it stresses one person.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually make out what he's saying. He points.
Yeah.
And Doomsay, which is the one that hits everybody. Did that just used to inflict stress?
Yeah.
It didn't used to inflict horror, did it?
No.
No, it does. That's true. I don't notice that. Yeah, it inflicts horror now. I also like that your moves have a slightly different sound effect if they miss, or the enemy dodges.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch. And the collected versions of the heroes have a different sound effect for the same move, essentially. I know it's got a different name, but you can tell what move it is.
Mhm. laudanum actually has a use these days.
Did anyone? I mean, I don't think I've ever bought laudanum.
No.
Like maybe when you get the free supply thing. And that's still a maybe.
Yeah.
Do not look, and do not look away. Stuff like that. Yeah, brilliant. It's just that slight bit over the top, but just the right amount.
The plume and the pistol, a fitting end to my folly.
Yeah. Like sometimes he sounds kind of thoughtful or concerned or upset, and sometimes just downright malicious.
Yeah.
Do not trouble yourself with the cost of this crusade. Your noble end gives you a broad choice of means. Gives you broad tolerance in your choice of means.
Yeah.
It's like that sounds really quite ominous. Another mariner, another misfortune. I wonder who they got to voice it. It's great. That's fine. And also I do like that you have to kind of weigh up whether you're doing something for greed or not. Like sometimes you think, oh, I can get a bit more treasure or whatever, but is it worth it if things are going wrong and everybody's freaking out?
Yeah.
Is it worth that treasure you're after? Do I build up? Dig down? Picked up these shovels, but maybe I shouldn't have done. Maybe I should actually be building up instead of digging down here. I agree.
Quite.
Yes.
Yes.
Soil. We got soil? I shall get some.
Did you get armor, by the way?
I did, thank you, yes.
Okay.
It's on my armor rack in the keep at present. Need materials for the walls. I'm gonna need quite a bit of that stuff though. Rip all our sand. That small.
The beast required a prodigious amount of meat. But that was no problem. After all, I had an entire hamlet full of it.
Yeah. Like sometimes he just sounds so evil, doesn't he? Like I know he is, but you're just like, oh damn. Somehow you've surprised me even so. hurts.
Hearts.
Hurts. That's what hurts. Ah, storm clouds. There's a lot of villagers in Chasmville. It's a great population when you see them all gathered together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a real boom. Got a mason in the factory now. That's
Oh,
a spinny
nice.
table.
That's good. You like to see that.
Yeah. Is it well time already?
Is it what
Oh.
time, sir?
Past well time. Well off to bed. I didn't realise it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sunset, okay. I was looking for the cartographer and he wasn't at his station. Didn't realise it was that hour.
Neuralon says ZZZ.
You've been lost in your work.
Yeah.
Hey, what else I've been doing? Well, when I was dizzier still, I've been sat reading the Watchmen comic book.
Hmm?
I mean, borrowed it off my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
All right. The plot of the film and the plot of the comic book are very similar.
Yeah. I've
Well,
heard
it's
people...
Pretty.
I've heard,
Sorry, go on.
I've heard people say that the film is so true to the book that they might as well not have bothered adapting it.
Yeah, I mean it makes some changes. Partly, of course, you got changes for the medium as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I think it's good. I think it's a good adaptation. I mean, I also know that the Alan Moore people would have been furious if it were not a
Yeah.
close translation and the adaptation, and furious still, you know.
Yeah.
If it weren't an even, you know, if it were not as true as it were, they'd have been furious. It is, I think it's perhaps in some ways quite a good example of how you adapt a comic book to a film. Very, like one that's not like a run of comic books like Superman or something, but one that's functionally a one-off.
Yeah.
Like I know it was a short run, it was a limited run,
Mhm.
but they've compiled into a single book.
Yeah. But yeah, it was always intended to be like... Yeah, it was originally really serialized, but it was always intended to be like one solid story.
Yeah. What if I did it that way? Ooh, that's possible. So I think that is quite, you know, it's a good adaptation of that kind of comic book into a film.
Mhm.
I think it does that well. We've not reached the end yet, so don't tell me what happens. Nah, I already know. That bit where Rorschach destroys the Earth, didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Too much sin, only choice. Destroys the Earth. By taking off his mask.
Yeah.
I mean, the film obviously don't have the time to go into some of the backstory that's provided.
Yeah.
Like how Rorschach got the mask and how it works the way it does. Like it doesn't go into stuff like that, which is fair enough. You've only got so much time, haven't you?
Yeah.
And actually, films can suffer when they put too much stuff like that in.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, the comic doesn't go into that stuff because a lot of the important stuff is in like the bonus sections.
Yeah.
Like they have the end of each chapter has like a couple of pages of like a journal or a book from the setting or a newspaper or the like, and that reveals a lot of the important things. And that's, you know, it's not comic book; it's clustered text.
Yeah. It's prose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Sorry, go on. What were you gonna say something?
He got a toolsmith to master, and he's not selling shovels.
Ah, dang it.
Unbreaking diamond pickaxe, worthless.
His own break-in warrant, chap.
I think so.
Ah, well, you know, you tried, don't you?
Yeah.
Mark out what I'm gonna do here. Oh, would that work? Maybe I could do it now. That's probably not gonna work. Interesting if I did.
Think of the consequences.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's pretty close to, the film's pretty close to the source material, so there's nothing especially surprising. They've tweaked some bits though, like to simplify the number of characters and things like that.
Yeah.
Like in the Dr. Manhattan sort of flashbacks, but not really because he experiences all time simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like in the book, you've got Dr. Glass. Is it Dr. Glass? Is his boss, and
Yeah.
Wally Weaver is a fellow lab assistant.
Yeah.
Whereas in the film, he doesn't really go into the different relationships there. It's just like him and Wally work together in the lab. So, and the person who comments on him, God exists and he's American, is Wally rather than another person.
Yeah.
There's stuff like which, fair enough. You're never gonna get everything in, are you?
No.
Like I understand that they do that with Lord of the Rings, even if there's characters in Lord of the Rings I wish they'd kept in. Glorfindel puts him right home.
Yeah.
Definitely they should have kept them in, but they didn't, so there we are. But do that there, then. Some space, what would you need? Yeah. Then, would it be? Unless. We do that instead. More compact. If it was like that. Yeah, there's obviously extra details in the comic, like Hooded Justice having expressed sympathy for the Nazis, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have time to go in, or maybe you just don't. If you like the comic, I'd recommend watching the film. I think it's good. I think it's well done.
Yeah.
Very good visuals, which I think is probably what Zack Snyder's best at, because he's not using his own material for like story.
Yeah.
One of those films where you probably do watching it more than once to notice the details that they've put in the shot,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Certainly the intro section, which is one of the best intro things on a film I've ever seen. It sums up a lot of the backstory from the comic in the opening of the film, set to The Times They Are A-Changing by Bob Dylan. It establishes all the stuff like the Minutemen from the 40s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's all done rather than through Hollis Mason's autobiography. It's done through this opening like scene at the beginning. It's fantastic, and he also does a good job of setting up how the world is different to ours.
Yeah. Changes along the way.
Exactly, yeah. If that were the case, where would this go? There's something there.
You know what I weirdly have the most trouble getting my head around?
Yeah.
The pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Well, there were people who decided to, take what others had made and steal it for themselves, mostly.
But like, that was so immoral. Like, how did they ever think that was okay?
Some people are just like that, I guess.
Illumus of Fail says ZZZ. Neuralon says ZZZ.
Pirates in the Watchmen universe.
Yeah, that pirates have become like this massive, resounding force of fiction throughout the last 100 years.
Yeah.
Like they're to the Watchmen universe what superheroes are to ours, because superheroes aren't appealing in a universe where they're actually superheroes.
Yeah.
Like my brain wants to say there's not that much you can do with pirate stories. You surely can't. How are they? No.
Yeah.
And yet they...
No, I'm with you on that one. Like, how does that work and why?
Yeah. And yet they'd surely say the same about our superhero stories. Like, how many stories can you write about guy gets superpowers and punches criminals?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing, if I remember right what I read the other day, that there were superhero comics, but once people started actually putting on masks and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's established that's the inspiration, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hollis Mason says he liked the Shadow and stuff like that, and
Yeah. It's like
like
superhero
Superman.
comics. Superhero comics started in like the 1910s, and superheroes appeared in like the 1940s, 1950s.
Very late 1930s, I think, is when
Late
the
1930s.
Hooded Justice makes his first appearance.
Yeah.
It's just a fella who smashes up criminals very brutally.
Yeah.
One man never walked again, and things like that. You get dropped in, like in passing, talking about Hooded Justice and how he inspired people.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hmm.
What would downstairs be like?
No, that's no good.
Yes, that could do it. crucial piece.
I think Hooded Justice comes a lot. Is the scariest thing about Hooded Justice is how alarmingly normal he comes across.
Yeah. For someone who's so just like brutally violent,
Yeah.
is he the famous wrestler? I love that detail. Like, there was also a huge guy who was a wrestler. Could it be him? He just disappeared, so we'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly not a Rorschach character, is he?
No.
In the film, you only really see him in a couple of flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like in the opening scene, just towering over everybody else. Just being enormous.
Yeah.
And in the scene where Silk Spectre is attacked,
Mhm.
and he roughs up the comedian.
Yeah.
And in that, he's got like, the gentlest Irish voice. This enormous bloke just got this really gentle voice as he swears at the comedian. Like he's being aggressive, you don't get me wrong, but it's just the sound of his voice is quite gentle.
Yeah.
Go over there, like this. No, that's not far enough. I don't like the distinction between Walter Kovacs and Rorschach.
Yeah.
I really don't. And how he sees that distinction as well.
Mhm.
Or was that when you became Rorschach? No. That was Walter then. Stuff like that, I think he's quite clever.
Yeah. In those days, I wasn't Rorschach. I just wore his face.
Yeah. But you're clearly a very disturbed individual.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see how that develops, and that's really well done.
One thing I did think was done especially well in the comics when you see flashbacks with Walter wearing Rorschach's face
Yeah.
is the speech patterns between the two.
Ah, yeah.
That in some ways Walter speaks very differently and yet still sounds like Rorschach.
Yeah. That's clever, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was something that very much impressed me. That they
Clever
pulled
writing.
that off.
You don't mind if I demolish some pre-existing buildings to build something of my own, do you?
I mean, to be honest, I've been expecting you to tear down and rebuild the keep for some time, so I'm prepared for it.
You know that pig shed barn thing? I think I'm going to just dynamite in that. So that can, make space for some new industrial units.
I mean, well, industrial units do sound productive.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's privately owned property. We can't, I'm afraid, have privately owned stuff damaged for the mere benefit of all.
True. That would set a bad precedent. I should build this in a cockeyed way, alright? But here we are.
Makes it feel more real.
I'm basically going to have to put in kind of a basic structure and then build the upstairs because I know what that needs to be like. And then build the downstairs. You didn't bring a crafting table with you, did you?
No, but I got a lot of wood with me.
Ah, it's okay. I'll just jog over to the fountain.
Okay.
If you'd got one in your inventory, I would have asked to borrow it, but
Yeah.
I need otherwise. Thank you though. This is definitely not enough. Also hasn't worked. Wait. I know what I've done wrong. I forgot that bone powder wasn't white dye anymore. But why isn't this working? That's why. Oh no, I made a mistake. Made another. That's right. There we go. Now, how do I turn that into not cement powder? Do I have to just dump it all in water? Because that's going to take a lot. How does that work? How do that?
It is deafening at the fountain these days.
It is. It's a... Is that the only way of doing it?
The only way that matters.
That's one. Just go. And end them in about.
Yeah, that was right next to my ear. Oh, hello, sir. Yeah, okay. Oh, you're making... I see now.
I wonder if there's a more efficient way of doing that, 'cause that's very laborious.
I mean, perhaps we could set up some kind of mechanism.
Ooh. Oh, maybe I can do it the other way around. Maybe I don't have to drop it into water. Maybe I can put water on it.
Yeah.
That deserves testing.
Let's go ruin the fountain.
We've got a pit here. It's still
Yeah.
pretty laborious, but what if I just...
I mean, this
Ah,
is...
Yeah, I got water pouring all down here.
Well, this is the bottom of the well.
What happens if I... Yep, that solidifies it. Yep.
Oh! Wasn't
Oh.
aware of this. Let's see if we can get you out, sirs. One moment. What's that?
Oh, you found all these gentlemen in here.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
widening this
yeah.
out a little bit.
Are you thinking of widening it and seeing if they'll take the big staircase up?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I mean, now they at least give them the option.
I'm thinking. Oh, this is a possibility, you know. What if I try this? It does work that way, Anne. I can just put it down and then chuck water on it and it turns into the stuff I want it to be.
Ah.
That's no problem.
Okay, I live down here now.
At least you brought to bed, though, eh?
Yeah. Wait, I mean, no. No bad.
Oh.
Ever.
Yep.
That would have been the funny answer. Okay. Well, they can. Yeah, I watched one of them walk out here. Are you, really? Really though?
Walk straight back in.
No, he's walked in. He's walked to the bottom of the well. Well, they can get out if they want. But I guess that's the important thing.
That's the first step.
Yeah. They've got the option. I mean, there's no rule that they can't live down there. It's just,
That's true.
you know, but they might not want to.
I don't really know how they got down there.
No. How do they get anywhere?
True. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave that out. Stop in here, aren't I? But then, if that would be the floor level, maybe. Is that what we're saying? Hmm.
Hmm?
Hmm.
Huh. Huh.
But what if, perhaps this?
Huh.
Bit laborious, but I'll try it. I was watching a bit of Apollo yesterday,
Yeah?
and she was streaming a game which she says was got more back seating for her than Undertale.
Oh.
I mean, that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
It was 12 minutes. And, yeah, it certainly sent to. Everybody knew what should be done. Well, I don't know if it's better or worse than Hollow Knight, but... I know you've certainly experienced that, haven't you?
Yeah.
But how will you know I'm good at this game if I don't tell you how to play it?
I think Dark Souls was still the worst one I've had.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can believe it. I think any of that kind of game seems to attract that kind of attitude, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't, but it does. Alright.
Dark Souls is a
Try.
game that can be played in a massive variety of ways, and so you must explain to a person why your way is the only acceptable way.
Exactly. I'm glad you kind of understand that a bit more now. Better than playing it in the wrong way as you've stubbornly insisted on doing for some time.
Yeah.
You gotta use the Black Knight sword, whatever it was.
Black Knight, Greatsword.
That's it. Hey, I remembered that it was something to do with Black Knights.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a slight oddity. The Black Knight sword is a great sword, and the Black Knight great sword is an ultra great sword.
What?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense when you realize that Black Knight weapons are oversized in general.
Ah, okay.
It's the Black Knights were the demon hunters, and those things don't go down easily.
So they used huge swords.
Yeah. In fact, at one point, there's also the Silver Knights. And at one point, the Black Knights and the Silver Knights were the same unit. The Black Knights were just like the heavies, and the Silver Knights were the regulars, I guess.
Ah.
Like there wasn't considered to be like a skill difference in them. It's just the Black Knights were the shock troopers with the heavy weapons, and the Silver Knights had the lighter weapons and shield.
Ah, yeah.
But the because the lighter weapons didn't work well against demons, and that became a problem, the heavies kept getting called in for that duty, and the silver armor was repeatedly burned black by the demon flame until they decided to just roll with it and become the Black Knights.
I see. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, any
Plus
of the
the Black Knights were born.
Mm-hmm. And basically any of the Black Knight weapons are overpowered.
And so therefore they're the only acceptable ones to use because they're the best ones.
Yes.
I get it now.
Like, I don't know if lore-wise they're meant to be overpowered, but you know, they're the highest damage weapons, and therefore
The ones that everyone wants to use.
yeah.
And therefore the only ones that you should use because they're the highest damage.
Yeah.
Hi.
Same.
We're a trader.
Hi. Oh. Hello, sir. Fire call. Yes, please.
Oh. So has that torch got displaced?
Oh.
Outrageous.
Fun.
Yeah.
Just like a regular bush that we can get out of the ground by throwing bone meal.
I think it's the tiger equivalent of long grass.
Yeah, I guess we don't really need to purchase that. There's lilies of the valley. Are those quite rare?
What does it look like?
You want to come over and talk to him?
Excuse me. Lily of the Valley. I mean, I don't think it's a flower I've seen a lot.
Hmm.
I have seen them before, but I don't think I've seen them a lot. That's true.
Red tulips and poppies aren't especially rare. I don't think you've named that last set of tropical fish that I bought you, so no more of those for now.
That's true. Events overtook me, and they unfortunately got forgotten. They won't be forever.
Hmm.
Just for now. They won't be forever. Oh, no.
I'm gonna put these away.
Excuse me, please. I'm trying to sort this out.
Yeah, we didn't have any lilies at the valley.
Oh, well spotted.
Yeah, it's like a good investment.
Well struck.
And yes, Carl's in building objects. We're never going to use any of this coral. It's far too precious to build anything out of.
Yeah. Also, does it die as soon as you deploy it?
Oh, does it? I didn't know that. I
I
thought it was
think
just.
so.
I thought it was just if you mined it without silk touch, it died. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
I don't know actually. Maybe it survives. I hope so.
You think maybe it can only be placed underwater?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't know. That was my
Yeah.
speculation.
So we have placed some in the aquarium, haven't we?
Yeah, so that's fine. I do love that when you're crouching, you can just kind of hang off the edge of stuff.
Yeah. This guy seems to think you're building a trade depot.
But alas, I'm not. Yeah, it's good. Oh, I've forgotten something. He's drunk an invisibility potion and disappeared.
Must have stolen something. Give pursuit.
Get him. I do like that he drinks an invisibility potion at night and then drinks milk in the morning to cancel it out. Oh, that's such a great touch.
Yeah.
Yes, good, good. Have I got more? Yes. I haven't really planned this out before I've started it. I just kind of know what sort of things I need to have in it. Kind of doing everything around that.
Interesting.
Kind of working from that point of here's roughly what we need. It will surely boggle the eye. Let's do
Constructing optical illusions.
that. Not intentionally. Perhaps it'll just simply hurt the eye instead. One of the most aesthetically pleasing, and that's sort of intentional. It's supposed to be a practical building, not a aesthetics.
I'm glad that you can now road dirt without having to wait for grass to grow first.
Oh, can you now?
Yeah,
Oh, that's so much better.
I think they fixed it on the last patch.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a big improvement. Yeah, I much prefer that, definitely. I also like your use of road as a verb. Roaded it.
Mhm. I do like to verb a noun.
Me too. Okay, so if I consider that not finished, but finished enough for now. I just left some torches up here. Actually, those are going to be spawning things. For that later. So now, having done the upstairs, now I can work on the downstairs. Now I've got the rough
Yeah.
idea of how things should be. These traders and their lambs are kind of in the way right now, but I'm just going to deal with that later.
Crenellations.
It's about the most unfinished thing I've ever worked on.
This would appear to be a military building. You've given up on waiting and decided to build that armory that I keep saying I'm going to make.
I'd kind of forgotten that you were going to build an armory. I was musing on digging out a cellar under the keep and fitting it with cells. I think they were supposed to, but there's going to be cells in your armory.
Probably not, I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
I sort of like and don't like how unpredictably water flows. Like sometimes it just flows in a single line.
Yeah.
Other times it flows in every direction. There must be some logic behind it, surely. What it is, I don't know.
Why'd you move the water, you jerk? I could have broken my legs.
I'm just using it to turn cement into concrete.
Look at this mess. Look what you're doing.
It's all disappeared, hasn't it?
Hmm.
Fine.
Nope. Washed away a torch again.
Thank you.
What was it? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's the torch that got washed away. Excellent. I'll leave this floor in for now, but I might take it up later in order to make more cement into concrete. As I have been doing. That's what I've been using this open space for as much as anything. Like, it will have a floor like this later. But for now, I'm using it to make concrete. I'll need more. Much more. Stop me spawning in here. Okay, so how do I want this to go? Next question. Our Fenris weren't this close to building before.
Yeah, they seem to be sliding. I don't know
They
if
do, don't they?
yeah, I don't know if like iron golems are bumping into them.
Oh, that's possible. But not that, do they?
Because they were right on top of each other when I left them.
So.
Wait, what? Oh!
Oh.
Oh, I've been doing this terribly wrong.
Oh.
Yes.
What have you been doing? And how is it so wrong?
Only now do I realize I've been making these lampposts using a stripped oak log, whereas the villagers make them using stripped oak wood.
Examine the damage. That's originally around here somewhere. I can't remember which one's the original.
You should be able to tell from the underside.
I'm running around looking at the underside of Is it wrong?
There's
Did
one
you dig
near
a tunnel
the.
through this hill, or did I do that ages ago and forget about it?
I did it just now.
Oh god. I thought for a minute I'd done it as like some engineering work, as I tend to do. I just completely forgotten that I ever did it.
Nah, I'm putting up lampposts. I'm beautifying the roads to touch.
Oh nice, I like that. They're experimenting with new ones as well with these, using lamps.
Ah, there's more to it than that. See if you can
Oh.
figure it out.
Is it as you get into the nicer area, Kazumi,
Nurulon says ZZZ.
where the keep is, they move from simple torches on a pole to lamps.
It is. Chasm Village has the torches on the pole, and Greater Chasm B has the lamps.
To further solidify the difference in class.
Yeah. It's a pleasant cosmetic difference between regions. The
Yes.
uptown and the rustic areas.
Okay, so there's a Fletcher that wandered up onto the roof here where I'm working. I mean, okay, but it's a construction site.
Yeah.
Where would we need to go? How much more would we need? Somewhere about here. Oh, what if I did it like this? Some soil to mark it out again.
Hmm? Hmm.
Ow. Grab some of these. Pick some more of this flooring up because I need it for upstairs. wait, why is it like that? But yeah, 'cause that's the wall I was looking at, not the floor.
You falling over again?
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, that makes sense. Here's a thought.
Yeah.
Do the dogs move when you hurt yourself?
Oh.
Because they come to rush to your defense. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes I wonder
Yeah.
if they didn't mean to fall off to demonstrate that. Like,
Oh. I did mean to fall off to see if it worked. And I heard you thud behind me and I was like, yes. Hold on, let me take off my boots of feather falling that prevented me from getting injured last time.
ah,
Yeah, he didn't seem to care about that.
okay.
Hey, Fenris, hey. Hey, Fenrir. You two having fun together? Yeah? Yeah? Good pups. Let's see.
That works.
Oh. My stone shovel broke. Digging roads.
Too flimsy a construction.
Yeah. I didn't want to start a new project this week, so it was getting towards that time. That's why I'm now just messing around with roads. But next week, I think I'm going to build a tool shop with like 5 toolsmith stations in it.
Nice.
We will have shovels.
I approve. Getting silly. Why are shovels in such shortage?
Yeah.
But it is getting up to that time, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid
Continue this
so.
nonsense later. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and thank you, Loomis, as always.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Enjoyed
Had a
it.
problem.
Been good to unwind tonight.
Yeah.
I quite like how these new lampposts are turning out.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah. Adds something to the feel, I think.
Yeah, I like lampposts and stuff added in, rather than
Yeah.
just torches loose on the floor.
Yeah. Although I fear the actual lanterns don't cast as much light as a torch.
They should, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
They just never seem to, though.
No.
We could look at the light values, I suppose, and see if they do, but they don't
Yeah.
feel like they do.
They're certainly dimmer, but I don't know whether they cast light as far, which is the key
Yeah.
thing.
Alright then.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, everybody. tonight was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope to see everybody next time. Until then.
The Marie.